Hola, Rosa. Bien, ¿y tú? Too bad we don't have time for pool. You don't want banana, right? You want banana? You want a banana, Brenda?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
¿Quieres un guineo, loco? Mike, hablamos. They can get down. They naturally know. Dame uno de dos, mi amor. Sí, señor. Esto va a ser epic. Dímelo, varón. Vamos de aquí para el cielo, ya tú verás. ¿Cuánto tiempo que no te veía? Todo bien, pero te veo mejor que la última vez que nos vimos. ¿Estás caminando mejor?
Haciendo ejercicio.
That's good, that's good, that's good. Dime, mamá.
¿Cómo estamos, mijo?
Está bien, suave. I gotta go rehearse now. Gotta get ready. All right. Hola, Shirley.
Hi. Is that the new one?
This is the new one. The new
I
logo.
got one of those, right?
Ah.
Oh, I didn't put it on. I put one of my old ones. I don't want to ruin the new ones.
No, I'm having difficulty.
Oh, what's up with that?
Hey, that's how I feel today, upside down.
Here we go. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome. How are you guys feeling today? Did you practice? Yes. So our first game back is the 18th. So let's start going over the choreography that we did from last week. 5, 6, 7, 8. You go 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, and 8. Can I just see that much? Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. You go 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, and 8. Go back. Back to the top. Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. You go 1, 2, and 3, 4, and turn around. Down, down, up. Go 1, 2, 3, and 4. Robot, 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 robot. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Hit it and hit it. Nice. You really use your hips though. Your hips should be knocking something out. Okay? Yes. Right. Let's go from the top. Actually, let's keep going. Who practiced the on val? Let me see who practiced it. Good, Sylvia. Good, Mina. Good, Joy. Okay, Big 20. He practiced, y'all.
Yeah,
good,
on the bus.
Good. Almost
I was on the
marked.
bus.
Good. Very good. Okay. So let's go from here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and hit, 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 pose. Nice. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, the most exciting stage show in wrestling history, appearing live.
What are you doing? This ain't aerobic class.
You can't do it.
You can't do it.
I think it is. You better come on out here. Come on.
of renewal and resolve.
Yes, sir.
For the ages,
All
America
right.
has been tested
I
enough.
got it.
America has risen to the challenge.
Hey, good night.
We celebrate the triumph not of a candidate, but of a cause. The cause of democracy.
Hey guys, this is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. How's everyone doing today?
Warning, you are about to enter a free-thinking, innovative, open-minded environment. Be advised, this is the Tommy Nation Politics Tuesday live stream.
You are distressed that the Ukrainians don't have enough American tanks. Every city in the United States has become much worse over the past 3 years.
Yeah.
Drive around. There's not one city that's gotten better in the United States. And it's visible. Our economy has degraded. The suicide rate has jumped. Public filth and disorder and crime have exponentially increased. And yet your concern is that the Ukrainians, a country most people can't find on a map, who've received tens of billions of US tax dollars, don't have enough tanks. I think it's a fair question to ask, like, where's the concern for the United States in that?
Well, it's not my concern. Tucker, I've heard that routine from you before, but that's not my concern. I'm running for president of the United States because I think this country's in a lot of trouble. I think Joe Biden has weakened America at home and abroad. And as president of the United States, we're going to restore law and order in our cities. We're going to secure our border. We're going to get this economy moving again. And we're going to make sure that we have men and women on our courts at every level that will stand for the right to life and defend all the God-given liberties enshrined in our Constitution. Anybody that says that we can't be the leader of the free world and solve our problems at home has a pretty small view of the greatest nation on earth. We can do both.
Free thinking, innovative, and totally open-minded. Tommy Nation Politics.
We're going bankrupt because of all the things we're paying for out of pocket that other countries pay for with taxes. Because here's how the system works. The basic tax proposition is simple. You pay taxes to the government in the form of the money. The government pools that money and uses it to provide the people with essential goods and services that they need. That would be efficient.
The social problems are getting worse.
Painful. I asked you about Bidenomics a long time ago. You said you didn't know what it was. I said I didn't name it Bidenomics. I didn't realize the Economist and the Wall Street Journal did. But I think it's a plan that and guess what? Bidenomics is working. When I took office, the pandemic was raging and our economy was reeling. Supply chains were broken, millions of people unemployed, hundreds of thousands of small businesses on the verge of closing after so many had already closed. Literally hundreds of thousands on the verge of closing. Today, the U.S. has the highest economic growth rate, leading the world economies since the pandemic, the highest in the world. As Dick said, with his help, we created 13.4 million new jobs. More jobs in 2 years than any president has ever made in 4. 2. And folks, it's no accident. That's Bidenomics in action. Bidenomics is about building an economy from the middle out and the bottom up, not the top down. And there are 3 fundamental changes that we decided to make with the help of Congress. We've been able to do it. First, making smart investments in America. Second, educating and empowering American workers to grow the middle class. And third, promoting competition to lower costs to help small businesses.
Because it's one more sign of the growing contrasts of American capitalism. As it declines, it becomes more and more unequal. That's why the tensions in our society are rising. That's why the social problems are getting worse. That's why the incompetence or inability of our leaders to cope is becoming so much more obvious.
Hey guys, this is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. How's everyone doing today?
340,000 workers have authorized a strike from UPS. That is an enormous amount. That is the largest strike in American history. Danny and I were just talking. We think this is one of the largest strike authorizations and labor actions in the world.
According to the Center on Poverty and Social Policy at Columbia University, 14.3% of Americans, nearly 50 million people, were living in poverty as of last December. If America's poor founded a country, Matt Desmond writes in his book Poverty by America, that country would have a bigger population than Australia or Venezuela. Almost 1 in 9 Americans, including 1 in 8 children, live in poverty. There are more than 38 million people living in the United States who cannot afford basic necessities, and more than 108 million getting by on $55,000 a year or less, many stuck in that space
to live in New York City and across the country.
More than 1 million of our public school children are homeless, living in motels, cars, shelters, and abandoned buildings. More than 2 million Americans don't have running water or a flushing toilet at home. These statistics are bad enough, but when seen through the lens of institutionalized racism, they are even worse. In 2019, the median white household had a net worth of $188,200 compared with $24,100 for the median black household. And yet, as Desmond writes, spending on the nation's 13 largest means-tested programs, aid reserved for Americans who fall below a certain income level, went from $1,015 a person the year Ronald Reagan was elected president to $3,419 a person 1 year into Donald Trump's administration. That's a 237% increase.
It came with great sadness that we came to this crossroads, but we had no choice. We are the victims here. We are being victimized by a very greedy entity.
Breaking news from Capitol Hill.
The bill is passed.
The Senate passing the debt ceiling deal, allowing the country to keep paying its bills and preventing a catastrophic and historic default. The bill now heading to President Biden's desk for his expected signature, ending a weeks-long drama amid tense negotiations.
I am shocked by the way the people that we have been in business with are treating us. I cannot believe it.
Leaders from around the world shake hands and smile for the cameras. But behind closed doors, there are deep divisions about how and when Ukraine should become a member of NATO. This year's summit in Lithuania is one of the most important in its history. Ukraine believes it could dictate its survival as a nation. NATO has agreed to remove some barriers to entry.
Ukraine will become a member of NATO,
but won't outline a time frame.
We will issue an invitation for Ukraine to join NATO when allies agree and conditions are met.
Quite frankly, how far apart we are on so many things. How they plead poverty, that they're losing money left and right when giving hundreds of millions of dollars to their CEOs.
Ukraine's president frustrated by the delays and what he sees as a lack of respect.
It is disgusting. Shame on them. They stand on the wrong side of history at this very moment. The entire business model has been changed by streaming, digital, AI. This is a moment of history.
It seems there is no readiness neither to invite Ukraine to NATO nor to make it a member of the alliance. For Russia, this means motivation to continue its terror. Uncertainty is weakness. Away from the formalities of the summit, the people of Vilnius gathered to support Ukraine's push for membership, where they welcomed a surprise guest.
NATO
will give Ukraine security. Ukraine will make NATO
stronger. That is a moment of truth. If we don't stand tall right now, we are all going to be in trouble. We are all going to be in jeopardy of being replaced by machines and big business. Who cares more about Wall Street than you and your family? You cannot change the business model as much as it has changed and not expect the contract to change too. We're not going to keep doing incremental changes on a contract that no longer honors what is happening right now with this business model that was foisted upon us. What are we doing? Moving around furniture on the Titanic? It's crazy. So the jig is up, AMPTP. We stand tall. You have to wake up and smell the coffee. We are labor and we stand tall and we demand respect and to be honored for our contribution. You share the wealth because you cannot exist without us. Thank you.
The Lithuanian people have had lived experience of Russian aggression and imperialism, and they're among the most generous donors in the world when it comes to military aid. And Volodymyr Zelensky has come here today to thank them for their generosity.
Hey guys, this is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. How's everyone doing today? Tommy Nation Politics.
I want to share with you a study newly completed toward the end of last year, 2022, produced in and by the University of Southern California, USC, and in particular, the medical school there, known as the Keck, K-E-C-K, Keck Medical School. A study was undertaken of Los Angeles County in California, a study of its food insecurity problem. In other words, hunger. What is the problem of hunger? How many people are not able to get enough food to live a normal, healthy life? That is what they were studying. Why now? Because they knew already at the end of last year that in March of 2023, that's right, just a very small time ago, would be the last month that about 1.4 million people in Los Angeles County alone would no longer get their pandemic-era supplements in terms of funds for food, the SNAP program, or what we used to call food stamps. The eligibility for them was not renewed. Thank you, Mr. Biden, Democrats and Republicans. So the 1.4 people who receive these supplements won't. All the affected households will get at least $95 less per month to buy food than they used to, and some will get as much as $250 less per month to buy food. 37% of the poor in LA, those 1.4 who were getting food stamps of one kind or another, 37% of them, over a third of the poor, right, experienced food insecurity last year. In other words, they were poor enough that they didn't know whether they would have enough food at their next mealtime and often experienced insufficient.
Hey guys, this is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. Free thinking, innovative, open-minded, new, independent, progressive media. And with the rising cost of food, with the inflation that's still 8.3%, with shitty jobs going into the market, and Roe v. Wade evaporating from thin air, the Democrats they're a little bit worried. There might be a spoiler. They're a little bit worried about an orange menace. I can't quite tell, guys. But all I can really tell is the fact that these are conditions for strike. These are part of a wave of labor unrest that's been happening for since that half a year and a half, I'd say, the pandemic. Thousands of workers walking off the job for better conditions, longer vacations, paid time off. First, it was Starbucks, then it was Amazon, then now UPS. The strong labor market emboldening workers. It's softening. It's very interesting, guys, because with all of these, bad decisions when it comes to our domestic policy, there's a very real risk of a recession in the next year. This is from Politico, which means they say this is a bad time to send a letter to your boss saying you think you deserve more respect. Respect, guys, is something that's not given to people that are trying to be spoilers, people that are trying to stand up for right and wrong, principles and values, life, liberty, and happiness. Are you someone who doesn't bend to the will of the conventional wisdom? Someone who rebels, who questions authority, who doesn't always watch the mainstream media and listen to the manufacturing consent from a propaganda talking point conglomeration called the mainstream media? I don't want to hear about the mainstream media. What I want to hear about is I want to hear about experiences, guys. Which is, if you're on the Tommy Nation Politics live stream, please go ahead, leave your thoughts, comments, concerns. You can always write to us at facebook.com/Tommy Nation Politics. But I'm not coming to you guys with questions. I'm coming to Delilah Barrios. Delilah Barrios, are you there? Delilah? Delilah?
Yeah, I think I was on mute. Hello. Can you
Hey,
hear me?
how's it going? Yes. Can you see me?
Yeah, I see you. I gotcha. How are you?
Cool. I'm pretty good. So I wanted to talk to you because you did the thing. You ran for governor. You're super qualified, more qualified than Greg Abbott. Greg Abbott, who's like literally, these guys don't try to be successful. They want to be pro-life. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
This is where we're at.
I'm the only one who was CPR certified that was on the ballot, if that helps. So, I think qualifications are life experiences, and I don't think a lot of these elites, wealthy bootlickers really care or have that experience, to really speak for the poor and working class. And so that's, I think
What do you think
challenge for sure.
What do you think is going through the mind?
What do I think? What?
Oh, what was that?
What was your question?
What do you think of? What did you think? What do you think of the mind of the working class right now? Do you think they're like perfectly open-minded enough to accept a figure like Cornel West who's running? Do you think now is the time? We've had the time. The time is now. What do you think?
I do think that he will be embraced in a different way, especially by the media. He's already been, they can't deny him. I suppose they could, but it would be very telling if they started denying him interviews, denying him time, because they've had him on already. He's already been a pretty consistent media figure. So I don't think it's gonna take a lot of convincing, poor and working class people. It's those the people that are comfortable that we're gonna have a hard time convincing to vote for Cornel West, because
I think the only way to convince people like that is to let go of, somehow erase the lie that voting for not the lesser of two evils, but the best of ourselves is actually a better idea. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I love Dr. Cornel West.
You always hear
He's such a powerful, passionate speaker, and I think that he does have that long history of being on the side of the poor and working class for him. It's not every Green that I've talked to is very excited about his candidacy and nominating him. We haven't seen this level of excitement in the party for a while, so it is really nice that he's running. He's going to run for our primary. I'm excited.
But there's more to do than him running. Look, I went to the Green website and I I wanted to figure out a way that I could like volunteer, because this is a time where, we need to all get involved. I mean, forget the Marianne Williamson and forget RFK. Have you heard the drama about them?
I did hear
and their
the
stupid
drama.
campaigns, how they're imploding? Have you heard it?
Oh yeah, yeah. Of course.
So I don't give a shit because they're Democrats. What do you expect from people that are Democrats?
Well, and it's not
Why are
only
we
that.
even paying attention?
Marianne specifically, she's a millionaire. I don't know what Robert Kennedy's wealth is like, but they're wealthy people. They're comfortable people. So they're not running to actually be any opposition to anything at all. They're running specifically to continue taking money from voters and lying. That's the whole thing. Everybody's like, oh, Democrats for so long were progressive. When Democrats were the majority in this state specifically, it was like they were just as racist as the other party. You know what I'm saying? And I haven't seen a lot.
Even more so now that Joe Biden's president. Now that, let me tell you, Delilah, now that Joe Biden's president, the liberals are way more racist than
Mask off.
It's like all of a sudden I can't open a laptop.
No, I've
what the fuck?
seen the way they're treating people. It's insane.
How about how they're treating you?
I mean, I'm pretty.
Where are you at? Where are you at in Texas? Where are you at in Texas?
I'm in Hays County. I live in Hays County.
Okay.
So I
Is
don't
that
know which website you went
near
to
the border?
because you said you went to one of our websites.
It was the Green Party of Dallas. Yeah, the Green
Dallas?
Party. I was trying to find my district. Yeah, District 5. That's the district.
I had to talk to, not had to, but I was invited to talk to not the People's Party, but it was some other variation of like that word. And they weren't associated with the Movement for a People's Party, but they were the only ones in Dallas at the time that was like, can we talk to you? Can you talk to us about your policies, yada, yada. And I was like, yeah, of course. So yeah, as far as I know, I don't even know that we have a for sure chapter like doing anything physical. This is a problem with Green Party. And I'm very
that's a
happy
problem. That's the problem. Exactly. I agree with you.
Yeah, no, and I'm happy to handle the criticism because I have plenty of criticism myself. I ran and it was complicated as hell to run. It was hard. I had very little assistance. I'm grateful for the people who supported me. I'm grateful for, the words of encouragement and advice, but basically you're doing a lot on your own as a candidate. So like we only have two candidates right now that are ready to run for 2024 in Texas. And we need more than that. You know what I'm saying? We need a lot more.
Who are they?
Or we'll lose our ballot access. We have ballot access till 2026. If we don't, it's always under threat to lose your ballot access. It was news to me recently that we only have ballot access in 15 states. I thought Green Party had more state access, but it's not true. Like, so we have to do all of these petitions,
what about this
ballots,
year?
And things to
What
get
about this
on.
year? What about this
What's that? I'm sorry.
So
delay.
I'm sorry. No, sorry. Is Cornell West on the ballot for all the states? Is it for sure? Or is that something we need to work towards? Because we need to start, like you said, we've been by ourselves. You've been by yourself. You shouldn't be by yourself, Delilah. There was a thing in the Bernie Sanders movement. It was called Not Me, Us. Do you remember that? Hashtag Not Me, Us?
Yeah.
That's what is going on with the Democrats. AGA, people dividing us. It's not me, it's us. That's what these strikes are literally showing. And they're scared of that shit.
Mm-hmm. I'm so excited for the strikes.
Political. So what
I used to work at Seton, Maine.
Yeah.
That's where the nurses are striking, in Austin at Seton, Maine. I love it. I love it so much. We had to talk to those corporate jerks so many times. And it's all about the money. It's all about the money. This is where we are. This is a line. And we're like, how are the patients doing? Are we having good outcomes? Like, do you care about the staff? So I love that the labor movement is like, it really feels like it's moving. It's going somewhere right now. And it's so bad. You have to look at like East Palestine and the people who are dealing with all of this toxic, waste in their water and their air. I think people are fed up and they're really tired. And I think Green Party has the right platform for it, but we need more people. We desperately need more people. We need more people to run. And we don't have secured ballot access in all the 50 states. We need to work on that. And it's a lot of work. We need people, petitioners.
How do we start with that? How do we start with the
yeah, we need people to volunteer for a ballot access.
Cornell West?
I know. Well, it's important to get him elected. I think he'd be a wonderful president. People are like, we just have to pass the 15% threshold. Stop being defeatist. That's not
5%, isn't it?
They want to set the bar.
Isn't it just 5%?
Yeah.
Isn't it just 5% and you 5% and you get the public funding, right? That gives you public funding for political parties. Is that true? 5%?
15% because
it's 15.
Yeah, it's 15%. So,
Okay.
you know, that's a definitely a threshold. But yeah, a lot
So-
of people are just so fed up.
That has to do with that.
Everybody I know is struggling, you know, to pay for bills and groceries. Everything's gone up in price, but their wages haven't gone up. You know, same story everywhere. So yeah, we need a lot more volunteers to get him, you know, where he needs to be. That's better. Thank you for fixing it. I was looking for your face.
Yeah, I didn't even realize it for the longest time until seriously, I was like, "What? Why am I so small?"
Oh my god!
But that's what I realized, Delilah, is like we're pretending to be small, but when we all group together, when we collectively bargain, and now the Supreme Court is having some kind of ruling on it. Supreme Court versus Glacier, Teamsters versus Glacier. How funny is it that Joe Biden was literally he was a Teamsters crusher, right? He crushed the unions. Then he all of a sudden he sends AOC to the Teamsters when it comes to UPS. This is actually the biggest. This is the biggest strike.
Yeah,
she's right there to take that. Take that political capital. Why can't the Greens do that? What do you think about that?
So
what do you think about Cornel West getting in there doing politics? Because that's what he needs to do with his brother this, brother that. We're too nice. We need to get in their shit. Start talking about Epstein's Island. Let's talk about Epstein's Island. I don't know. Just for starters.
I don't want to talk about that specifically.
For starters,
now.
Epstein's Island.
Because,
for seconds, why are you robbing us? For thirds, why are you war all the time?
Like, I get all these Amber Alerts. We're so close to I-35, and that's it's just human trafficking has just been such an issue. When I went on Tara Reid's podcast, I was like, yeah, it's a huge issue, like human trafficking, children getting kidnapped, and she's like, oh, I didn't think it was a big deal anymore. And I was like, it's worse. There's no progress being made in that situation. So that's the angle. Like, yes, I'm angry. I would be lying if I never said about setting things on fire. Okay. I'm just going to be honest. Sometimes I get frustrated, the world is not a kind place. Frustrated. So yes, we want to make it a more just, a more peaceful experience. Everybody should be able to live and feed their families and find some sort of peace, but we are not at that point yet. And this is where it gets hard, is because a lot of people they want to be pacifists, and it's not something that you can do right now. You know what I'm saying? I know 17-year-old kids who are getting signed up to go to the military, and I'm like, don't sign any contract. Don't do it. And they're like, well, I have to, I want to go to school. I want to do this. I want to do that. And I'm just like, it breaks my heart because I can't, you know what I'm saying? I can't do anything to make it better right now. And it's like, I have to worry about people just not voting. They're like, I'm not voting. It's all fake. None of it matters. And it's like, it's not fake, because if enough of us do come together and we show up and we're able to say, this is what we want. Like, I always push for a general strike. I always did. I think that's what needs to happen. At least 30% of the workforce needs to say, no, we're not doing this. You know what I mean? We need to rewrite the Constitution. There's a lot that needs to happen. As far as Cornel West campaign, I know he's in good hands. I know that he has people that are helping him and coordinating. And I personally know,
like Jill Stein,
treasurer,
right? Like Jill Stein.
Yeah, she's on his campaign. There's a lot of good people.
What do you think about that? What do you think about that, Delilah? What do you think about that?
I feel like, and this is just me speculating, I do not know, and I haven't talked to her since last year, but I suspect she had to dedicate her personal time to this to get him to run as a Green, because we have a lot to overcome as a party. We really aren't as big as we should be, and so it's a lot of work to get us there. And yeah, I mean, I think she's lovely. I think a lot of people like. It
shows that he's not alone. I mean,
yes,
like it was last time. So we're building on momentum. Now we need to just create the correct argument that can refute. Oh, you're a spoiler, which is what the Democrats are crying at the top of their lungs, because they've literally broken all their promises.
Exactly,
and they've destroyed their trust with the American people, and they've destroyed the media's trust in the American people. So now all they have is fucking COVID. That's literally all Biden has to run on. That
he's
that
not
is standing
even
between
trying to do
Biden
that.
and an orange menace. What?
That's the
15
angle.
shots in your arm, buddy. 15 shots in your arm, buddy. Go.
Oh my God. Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but like some coworkers and I protested outside of the hospital that we were working at over the vaccine mandates.
Yeah, you told me that last time.
Oh yeah. So it's like, and the thing is, I never was against proper precautions. I never thought it wasn't a real thing. You know what I mean? I'm still actually very cautious about COVID, and I still mask when I'm indoors and things like that. And it's very weird because, that fear, the fear tactics in regards to politics and the bipolar, like, it's only this or that. It's only this or that. That's it. The only two options, and they both suck. And people are like, wait a minute, that's not true. You know what I mean? And it's so hard to find, because you actually do need people from all sides to join. And I think there's just like purity politics that is just unattainable, that we need to just throw out the window. Like, I'm not saying ally. I don't like Nazis. I would never talk to them or work with them. You know what I'm saying? I have very much invested in not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't.
I don't know. I'm curious about Nazis. I'm
not. They're ignorant. They're ignorant.
How come they get all this money? What happened?
That's the other thing.
How come they got
So
a tax dollars?
if you look at the PACs, for the Republicans and things like that, you'll see where their money's coming from, and you'll see that some of those racist people are
How do they
very
get that?
motivated. Yeah, it's not a huge,
Literally.
scandal. Like, people just have to do the research to look it up. There are so many racists who love Trump.
I agree.
And
yeah, but there's so many racists that love Biden.
Well, Biden himself is a racist person.
Yeah.
I
What fucking racists like? I don't give a shit. They're stupid as fuck. Like, they have to hold on to the fact, as long I'm better than the fucking whatevers, right? I'm better than the gays, better than the blacks, I'm better than the Jews. That's me, right? If you can just explain yourself away, no wonder you're such a lazy individual thinker,
And it's a moral weakness too. It's like, I can't handle competition, really. You know what I'm saying? So I have to take this route.
Why genocide? Why genocide?
God, I can't.
It's so scary.
I can't. Yeah, and then you've got the people who are like, well, if you don't like racists, then you have to vote Democratic. Like, you elected that.
Yeah. So how do we? Yeah, that's the thing, is how do we unwind that idiot fucking logic?
Yeah,
unwind it, right? That's the key. That's the key.
It is the key, but I wish
Patience.
people would not be so intimidated by it. I think when you say to be an organizer, to be somebody who does direct action and things like that, you don't have to have a big budget, and you don't have to like make a big deal of it. You can just start off small. You know what I'm saying? I think people are really intimidated about getting involved in politics because they don't want to get into arguments. They don't want to, have to defend their positions, and they don't know how to do it. And that's the angle is, let me convince you. You know what I'm saying? Let me convince you of what I believe. Let me convince you to vote for the people that I want I think are better. It's like, let me show you what person I am. Let me, you know what I'm saying? Those small things, like your consistency as an individual, is very important, because a lot of people know folks that they would trust, but they tolerate, right? They're just like, oh, I gotta work with so-and-so. They say all these reactionary things. I don't want to work with them. But you could actually turn some people around. You know what I'm saying? Just by being consistently, showing up, being yourself,
right?
And not being afraid of being like, well, I don't know the answer to that, but this, that. It doesn't have to always be a debate with people. You know what I'm saying? Even just saying, like, we can agree to disagree on this, but I feel correct and I think I'm right because this person's gonna, my values are XYZ, and they support those values. That's what's important to me. That's enough. Just being firm in your own, like, you know what I'm saying, in your own systems. I don't think that you have to debate with people and get into arguments about politics. That's not going to help the situation. We really need to figure
what's your opinion? What's your opinion on the strikes? Do you think they're going to accomplish anything at all? In the long run?
Yes, absolutely. Now,
what?
Well, for instance, I know that the nurses in Austin are just asking for, they have too many patients assigned to them. It's not fair to them or the patients or the family when they're overworked. You know what I'm saying? Or they're being.
So are they gonna get relief on that? You think they're gonna win? Are they going to win concessions?
I do think so, because if you pay attention, like the media is actually, for once, doing a decent job and not being partial on, you know what I mean? I think they know better than to try and say these nurses are crazy. They're not good people, because then the people who watch the station are gonna be like, that's not cool. You can't talk about nurses like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think they will be successful. And as far as the writers' strike, there's so much media out there already. Like, we really could go a year without new things coming out. And, maybe that would be a good thing. Maybe people would be more.
Now, there's going to be plenty of Marianne Williamson's campaign fucking crazy. They're going to take her hardcore. They're going to have fun with her.
It doesn't seem like it's going well at all. And I wish she would just kind of, you know what I'm saying?
I don't want to talk about it, but I want to talk about it. That's why I'm talking about it.
It's on your mind.
I'm like, this is kind of embarrassing, but like, is she really on a book tour, or is this really for real? For real? People believe it's for real. She's a Democrat. I don't get it. It's a weirdo.
But
okay. So my last question. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say,
go ahead, please.
Listen, I saw her in Austin at a Bernie rally. And I was like, I have very good instincts, and I trust myself. My ancestors are with me, because I'm usually not wrong about people. If I get a weird vibe from you, I'm probably just going to be like, I don't know about that. And I'll watch and I'll wait. And what I learned about Marianne is all of her speeches are the same. She says the same speech at every rally. It's like a recycled, script. And so if everybody has a script, and they probably didn't even write it, how devoted are they to these policies they're trying to talk to you about? They didn't write their policies.
At least she doesn't have Kamala Harris's fucking scriptwriter. At least so. She writes it good.
Yeah, but that's the thing. They're not even writing their own policies. Most Green candidates you talk to are like, well, I thought about that, so I wrote this or this. You know what I mean? Like, we're very grassroots. We do not have.
They never seen legislation. Really, they never seen legislation. Really, it's their aides and staffers that Joe Biden yells at.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, literally, these people are in Congress. They're like literally, they're mediocre criminals, and we need to start electing Greens. I think that's the secret. So what is your next thing? Are you gonna run for anything? Are you gonna get involved? Are you gonna endorse Cornel West? What are you doing? What are you doing this year?
So I have a illness that I'm dealing with, so I can't run for office again, because it's just very taxing. It's a lot of work.
But you can endorse people.
I can certainly.
You're still famous in Texas.
So Nevada does not have ballot access, right? And so I said to the state party chair, I'm co-chair of the Texas Greens, and I was like, well, we've got ballot access. We're looking for candidates, so we're trying to focus on getting candidates right now for Texas. But Nevada doesn't have any ballot access, and I went to some of their meetings and I met some of their folks over there, and so I'm gonna go, try to get people to sign petitions so that they can get the ballot access that they need. So things like that, I'm going to try and help out where I can. And as far as Cornel West is concerned,
that's a good idea.
It's been almost like a complete consensus to endorse him from the state party level. Like, we all think he's great.
What about? I'm asking you. You're being a politician right now, Delilah. I asked you 12 times to endorse Cornel West.
Oh, I will.
You're not going to do it, or you are?
I
thinking it over?
absolutely will.
What are you thinking?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
I was one of the ones that was like, Howie, please don't run. Please don't run anymore. Like, I was one of the ones that was consistently, after my campaign, when I started to hear the chatter that Howie's going to run again, I was like, can we stop? We need to stop that, because it's not helping. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. Like, he seems like a nice guy. I've talked to him before. Whatever. He does not have the capability to bring this momentum, and he does not have favorability among the public, and he's made some mistakes in his campaigns in the past. And so we don't need that right now. And I was one of the ones that was like, there's got to be somebody else. Like, you're not the only person that can run for this seat. So, yeah, I've been pretty consistent that, like, I want our party to do better. And I'm going to keep pushing, because that's what I do.
Cornel West. Well, good. Well, I want our country to be better. And I think that it'll be better without the Democrats and Republicans. So Delilah, it was nice having you on the cast. Thanks for showing your face. Last time we did audio. But yeah, thank you for that insight. And I'm glad that you're endorsing Cornel West, because so am I. So let me know what you need.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, it's good to see you.
Yes, good to see you. So guys, here's what we need to do. We need to be free thinking, innovative, and open-minded. And next I'll have with me to help me do that is Queen Bee from the Ms. V Cosmic Collision. Did I just freeze? Cosmic Collision. Right after this, guys.
Is growing in the 2024 presidential race, with former Vice President Mike Pence and North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum entering the race. The total number of Republican candidates now stands at 12. This comes as 2 Democrats are challenging President Biden for the White House in the Democratic primary. That's RFK Jr. and Marianne Williamson. And just this week, a third-party candidate jumped into the race, Dr. Cornel West, who launched his bid as a member of the People's Party. And Dr. West joins us now. So, Dr. West, let me start with the obvious question. How are you running to win, or are you running to get your issues of importance that you think Joe Biden is not paying enough attention to the forefront?
Well, I mean, one, my dear brother, that you always have a calling to win. You want to bear witness at the highest level of quality, integrity, and honesty that you can. So, yes, I'm trying to push toward the finish line. Why? Because I want to reintroduce America to the best of itself, and it's fairly clear.
It's fairly clear, guys, that we're not voting for the best of ourselves. It's fairly clear, guys, that we're voting for the lesser of two evils. And I think that Ms. V must think that's funny. Ms. V from Cosmic Collision, come in. Come in, Ms.
What's
V.
up, world?
How's it going? Where you been?
Good.
Where you at? Good. What are you laughing about? Was I funny or what?
I literally heard that, and I choked on my juice. I am.
What part?
The part where it
part?
said they're voting for the best of ourselves. That's what made me choke. I'm like, oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, Joe Biden, he's like, does anybody really think he's the best of anything? Really?
No.
I don't think he was fifth in his class. He ever graduated from Harvard. This guy.
Okay, so
He was
yes,
just
there,
the right
there's
place at the right time with Barack
there's a
Obama.
great deal of accolades that have to be taken into
Trump
consideration.
is a moron.
There have to be a great deal of accolades that are taken into consideration. Yes, you did the work. Yes, you got the certification. Yes, you got the diploma, whatever. But if you're not implementing the exact meaning of what it is with the course of whatever you chose, then you're it really doesn't mean shit, to be honest. And I learned that in my own city. I learned that in my own city.
Okay. So, like, I haven't talked to you forever. Like, you've probably been living life, and I look around, all I see is a whole bunch of angry workers that, like, in the pandemic, 99% of us, our wealth decreased. 1% of the wealth increased. There's income inequality in the United States, the Gilded Age. There's cost of living that's rising. There's medical costs. There's medical mandates. There seems to be not a democracy in this country. And what's worse is that we have unfair, tyrannical people in charge of our country that are greedy beyond all comprehension.
Yep.
I mean, we're not the only ones experiencing it. Zelensky experienced it when they told him, "You're not joining NATO." Did you see that shit? I've never seen him so upset.
I think the one thing that society is failing to see is there really isn't a lesser evil. Evil is evil. It's no less than the actions that follow it. And that's the reason why I pretty much stopped the political linguistics, because when you start to recite what they say, you start to lose yourself. You have to look at it from a realist. You have to look at it from a realist, a humanist point of view. We have the highest level of poverty still in my city. We still have a high level of crime. And the unfortunate part is that there are now gag orders in effect to suppress that, to make it seem beautified. And I have a problem with that. And a lot of municipalities, cities, and states are starting to do that. You cannot reduce the impact that it has on a community when it comes to certain crimes. Yeah, you can scrub it out the newspaper, you can make it seem like it's less than what it is. But the fact of the matter is if you have crime in your city, you have to do something about it responsibly instead of trying to scrub it out and make yourself look good. Now, when it comes to the workers going on strike, there's only 3 top reasons why workers will go on strike. 1, conditions. 2, rate of pay. 3, the benefits. Those are the 3 top things. The reason why workers would go on strike, if they're not getting at least 2 out of 3 of them, they're going to go on strike. And they're not wrong for that. Especially during the pandemic when they were deemed essential, there were workers sleeping out in parking lots. There were people sleeping right inside the buildings. There were people literally struggling, workers struggling to make ends meet, because at the same time that they were deemed essential, government itself deemed it non-essential unless you followed mandates that were unconstitutional. That's not how it works.
Paid homage to their godness. Actually, B, that's exactly how it works. You figured it out, but you just don't like it. But I don't like it either. So I'm trying to figure out how to change that shit. And that's what I'm talking about with, I understand how you said political linguistics, but here's Cornel West coming along. He's a guy who's, he's very smart.
Mm-hmm.
He speaks the truth. He's not afraid to take on these 2 parties. He probably doesn't know what he's gotten himself into. He's going to die.
He's really not gonna get his foot in the door. One,
I mean,
the top
because of us collectively, right?
The top reason is he tells the truth. He doesn't take shit from any type of politician. He's real about what he is saying. He's common law majority. That means, they don't want him. He won't be a puppet.
Right, but we do.
He will make decisions based on the morality of society.
Yeah, but seriously, this is where we have to sit back and take responsibility for our actions. And our actions are we keep on facing this ballot box and picking the Democrat or the Republican. There's a perfectly legitimate option. And the Democrats can cry all they want about it. It's a spoiler. What the spoiler is, I don't have fucking minimum wage increase. What's a spoiler is I don't have legalization of marijuana. What's a spoiler as actually you said that you were going to cancel my student loans. That was the spoiler.
Okay,
The spoiler
here's
do it,
that's
Democrats.
where
That's the spoiler.
we're
Oh, no,
screwing
West
up.
can
That's
run.
that's where we're
These
screwing up.
guys.
This is where we're screwing up.
They run out of
This is where
excuses.
we're screwing up because we're just parroting off of the issues
No, I
that are
want
being
fucking student
thrown at us.
loans.
Okay, yes, there
I
is
want that.
there's a high level of student loan debt. Well, that's
I
because
want
of
marijuana to be
COVID.
legalized. Because of
When it
what?
comes to and I don't say marijuana, I say cannabis because marijuana again,
Man,
and people need to remember this. That is not the original name. That is not the original name. Marijuana
oh
was a
yeah, you're
name
right.
that was used to do a smear campaign because hemp was poised to replace wood. That is the absolute truth. So if you're talking about
Yeah,
cannabis legalization, I'm all for it.
yeah.
It's a plant. Just be careful with it. Okay?
Okay. I
Because
mean,
there are a lot of
I'm not
people.
gonna. Like, you're not gonna invent some scenario where I'm fucking high and I'm driving and I hit a baby, and that's the reason why it's all illegal because
It just
some
turns
fucking
out that
idiot's gonna hit a baby eventually.
it turns out that people who use cannabis and do drive actually drive slower and they're more cautious.
I know.
Pri-
Yeah, too
primary
cautious.
primary to the statistics that were being thrown out. That's what pisses me off. When
They
you
copied them from the alcohol
basically,
statistics.
I'll put it to you this way.
Copied them.
Okay, alcohol. Don't get
They
me
copied
started.
them.
DUI, DWI, and alcohol-related accidents went up 65% during the pandemic because they're like, hey, let's go ahead and give everybody extra booze, because
Yeah.
they're stressed
I didn't.
out and
All we could
all
do
of
was
that.
drink.
So they
Fuck.
did that to themselves. There's nothing
Okay.
I could do about that. But when it
Guilty.
comes
You're right
to
about that.
exactly, when it comes to
Guilty.
when it comes to cannabis legalization and they're trying to equate cannabis to alcohol use, I'm sorry, I'm not going to go for that because 60% of people who use cannabis and do drive are very careful. It slows your reaction. Do you know what happens when your reaction is slowed? It means to pay more attention. That's what people need to realize
So Joe
because
Biden
they're
needs
falling
to
for the
fucking smoke
smear
marijuana.
campaign. They're falling
Cannabis.
for falsified statistics. I am telling you right now to put $9.8 trillion on controlling a plant where you could have been taking care of no disrespect to anybody, taking care of methamphetamine cases, heroin and crack, cocaine, like the really hard stuff. It's absolutely deplorable that you want to waste money on
Michael.
something that has been proven
Speaking of
for
deplorable.
4,000 going on 4,500 years. It has been proven to activate our endocannabinoid system. Yeah, it's going to feel weird, but you're going to start feeling a little bit more relaxed. You're going to pay attention to everything around you more. You're going to want to help. You're going to want to explore certain avenues that you've never explored before because the recesses of your brain are being accessed. Basically, brain synchronicity is happening. You're starting to be more understanding, But the problem is because of that one long prohibition period when it came to alcohol, that is where people are
Yeah.
like, oh, I want the right to drink. Well, if you
It
want that,
showed.
let me tell you something.
It
If you
just
want the right to
showed
drink,
what laws do, bro.
if you want the right to drink, if you want the right to drink and drive, if you want the right to drink, drive, commit violence, if you want the right to drink, drive, commit violence, not know what the hell you did and wake up in a goddamn ditch 3 days later, then fine. That's perfectly fine. But when someone says, I
I
want,
think that's what
hold
Sound
on, hold on.
Unfiltered podcast was.
When it comes to, oh, I want to see cannabis legalized, oh, then you're dope. Oh, you're on dope. Oh, you're dope. No, fuck that. First of all,
Right.
people who have gotten into it have become more creative. We have creators all over the place that are like, yo, I gotta hit the bong or things like that because it relaxes their mind and it opens up the pathways to creativity, higher consciousness, love and understanding. And there are other plants that do that too. But mainly, and what people fail to realize is that as much as they want to argue, if you look into the Bible, which has, I think it's the book of Mark that speaks mostly of cannabis, then there you go. Basically, it's in the Bible, and the first Bible was made out of hemp. The clothes made out of hemp oil. Okay,
Betty water.
so
Hey, so like speaking of like people that would read the Bible but would not because Trump's not in the Bible. We got Savage Unfiltered podcast on here. He's a right winger and he's saying spitting false data. I mean, guys, like the Democrats are saying what is it? They're doing misinformation. And like here, this right winger he's just saying false data, fake news. It's like these guys have it all backwards. Misinformation, false data. They're both saying the same thing, but backwards.
misinformation.
But like literally, these guys are
misinformation is misinformation. It doesn't matter what party that you're a part of. They're going to spread the same type of misinformation. It's called mockingbirds.
Not if you're part of Trump's party, bro. Not if they're part of Trump's party.
No, misinformation is still misinformation because we could still be having a gross misconception on either party, mainly when it comes to the Republican Party. We have to look at the facts. Republicans weren't going for slavery. Democrats were. Sorry, it's right there. It's written there, and they proved it. Democrats were all for underage prostitution. Democrats were all for killing people who had different views. This is what the problem is. It continues to rise because we're like, oh, Democrats are all for the people, Republicans are for the corporations. No, flip that shit. It's the Democrats that are for the corporations and the Republicans that have been for the people, but we have been too blinded by the constant.
But like,
hold on, just hear me out. It's the propaganda. It's the propaganda that influences people. It is the propaganda that influences people, which leads to people not having an independent thought. Which you say, Tommy, you want to be independent, innovative, open-minded. That means you can't be in one single box saying that Democrats this and Democrats that. You also have to look at the good things. You have to look at the good things that Republicans
around for fucking
were
300
doing.
years. 300 years, bro. They've been around for 300 years.
And then
I can't fucking put them in a box by now.
What's worse is that the Democrats gravitate towards the minorities. They gravitate towards the disadvantage and all of that.
Yeah,
but here's the problem. And then there's a bigger problem, Tommy. They take advantage of the minorities, the disadvantaged, and the dilapidated communities. They take advantage of that. And I speak from experience because that's exactly what happened in my city. The people here were taken advantage of because they wanted better this and better that. And they were literally gravitating into thinking, oh, we need a minority politician.
Can I just
I can honestly say, unfortunately, nothing has changed.
I have a question though. You do realize, B, when you say the things you do, when you give homage to, so these two parties, their first compromise was free states or slave states, right? That was their first compromise. Us, slaves.
Mm-hmm.
So they're politicians and they only care about themselves and getting elected. Always have been, always will be. But you just gave the Republicans a highlight. Now notice that this fucking guy who's talking about false data, who's literally just a fucking beta male over Donald Trump. He worships him, licks his boots. He's like all in love with you now because you just said the Republicans. Do you just realize you made a white nationalist happy and like want to agree with you now? Isn't that gross? Is that not gross?
It's not a.
Why do you want to do that? Don't you find these people disgusting? Don't you find these people constantly rude and obnoxious? You want to make them happy?
I'm saying it for what it is. I'm saying it for what it is. The reason why society is collapsing is because people are too damn politically correct. I'm going to put it blunt. You're too damn politically correct. And when you become too damn politically correct, you have a hard time forming friendships. You have a hard time getting along with people. Maybe we need to look inside ourselves. Hold on. We need to look inside ourselves and say, maybe we're wrong about this, that, and the third. Maybe we're wrong about these certain perceptions. Maybe we're wrong about this certain culture. Because if we go to do that, then comes the open-mindedness, then comes the innovation, then comes the independent thought. Because if we're being so damn trapped in the conditioning that has been going on for quite a long time, I would say 150 years. give or take, has been going on for a very long time, then that's the reason why we keep saying, oh, Democrats are for the people. Oh, Republicans are for the corporations and they care about
Yeah,
themselves.
but they're both
But
fucking
if you
crooks.
realize it, during the pandemic, it was a Republican president that called a state of emergency.
Oh my
That
God, B.
I'm sorry, the truth is
No.
the truth.
Ah!
A
Okay, go ahead.
Republican called a
Love
state of emergency. Okay, because and then we'll go even further. He wanted to do stimulus specifically for the people. Who got in the way of that? It was Democrats, because they're like, oh, we needed to go with this company and that corporation and this corporation, that brand and that brand. I read the entire fucking HR bill. Come on, Tommy. It's getting old. Like, I understand this, that Republicans, they have their downsides, but we really need to pay attention to what the Democrats have been doing this whole time. Come on.
Yeah. Can't we just ignore both of them? Because they're both fucking retarded.
Yeah, that's true.
Retarded, bro. Retarded. Like, literally, Raffensperger, 11,000 votes. He's not smart. He sucks. He's not a billionaire. He's a liar. He did fucking have sex with that porn star. He lied about it because Melania. And so,
It's
literally,
just kind of
you're
funny.
right. Okay,
It's really funny.
everything you said, B, is true. Everything you said is true.
It's really funny.
Everything you said is
Okay,
true.
I'm gonna be blunt,
Also,
and
that's true.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this at a very great risk, but I'm gonna say it for what it is. It's very peculiar that after he signed over 100 bills having to do with child trafficking, that all of a sudden this dirt wants to come up on him that he has sex with porn. Come on, I'm not in it. Come on, Tommy, you know me. You met me because of how I talk and how I speak and who I am as a person. This is complete, utter bullshit, because you cannot say that if he didn't say anything about the missing children or anything like that, or how CPS is being ran and everything like that, if he did not sign those 100 bills to represent the safety of our children, then that shit about the porn star would not have came up.
If he just didn't if he wasn't just a greedy fucking maniacal narcissist who just fucking fucks every woman he touches. Remember, he said, I don't even wait. I just keep kissing them. I grab him by the pussy. That's what he said. To quote him, I grab him by the pussy. I don't even wait. I put some Mentos in my mouth. Then I just start kissing them. I don't wait.
Oh my!
He's a greedy guy. So
this is what I mean. This is what I mean. Everybody is
that better than corrupt?
Everybody is so damn focused. Everybody is
question. Is that better than Joe Biden? Maybe.
I'm not saying that's better than Joe Biden, but I don't see President Trump sniffing kids. Sorry.
Okay, I mean that wins. That wins. Fuck. I win. You win. Mic drop. Mic drop on the kids. I feel the same way.
I'm sorry. I have not in the whole entire thing that I've seen. I have not seen President Trump just lean in and start sniffing fucking kids. Like, ooh, you smell good. I know. I've never seen that. I'm sorry. So I'm gonna have to get that one off the Trump.
I don't like it either. I don't like it either.
Okay.
You know what? I don't like how right-wingers call me a groomer and call me a fucking pedophile. I'm not a pedophile. I agree with you guys. Why y'all fucking calling me a pedophile? I literally agree with you guys. So why the fuck am I a pedophile? Because I'm gay? Why are y'all picking on me? Pick on the fucking Joe Biden. That's literally. So think about that, B. These guys just literally. You see this fucking Dixiecrat sniffing hair, and they're like groomers.
Oh God.
Can y'all just leave us alone? Can't y'all leave us alone? Focus on the Joe. Focus on Brandon, bro. He's the groomer.
Look, this is why I had to take a back seat, because everybody just completely lost their fucking minds. I had to take a back seat because I'm like, like, wait, what? And look, I say it bluntly. Yes, I identify as bisexual, but I don't identify as and with all due respect, I don't identify as
you got Michael on
hold up. Just hear me out.
Michael!
Because it's gotten too crazy. It has gotten too crazy in my state. I'm gonna be blunt. It has gotten too crazy in my state. All right. You can identify as a non-binary calculator for all I fucking care, but you're not going to disrespect me because I had misgendered you. Because okay, I'm looking at you. If you got tits, if you have feminine features, I'm going to call you a woman. You yourself can say I identify as a man, but by DNA, you're a fucking woman. Just like you identify yourself as a woman. Hold up. You identify yourself as a woman, then by DNA, you're a fucking man. We have been so damn ingrained by identifying people, failing to realize that we're born a certain way. Now, this could be a case of body dysmorphia or anything like that, but the problem is your DNA states who you are. So I don't know why so much money, so much exposure, so much freaking YouTube videos are so centered on something that is so goddamn stupid.
Yes. But I mean, wow, you just keep dropping the mic on that. But let me tell you, so yeah, politically we do need to get involved, right? I mean, Cornel West is a resource. And by the way, I just want to say to what you were saying about you should not try so hard, trans guys. Let me just tell you something. These guys were willing to ban gay marriage without us even fucking being out. So you don't want to try these white nationalist motherfuckers because they'll literally commit violence. They'll bomb your churches. They'll fucking kick you down the road when you're trying to vote in Selma.
Last I checked,
you need to stop talking about your pronouns.
Wait a minute.
White people will refuse to do anything.
Last I checked on the eve of Roe versus Wade, it wasn't white nationalists that were burning churches, attacking people. It was people who were of a Democratic Party. Sorry, Tommy.
Yeah, but white people love the Democratic Party. Do you see any black people at Black Lives Matter rallies?
Don't get me started with do not get me started with Black Lives Matter right now.
No, it was the white people. I'm trying to tell you, they're crazy, and you can't ask them to fucking call you by your pronouns. Let me tell you, trans people, this. I want to tell you this, trans people. You can't make these white people do anything. If you even suggest pronouns, do you know what it's like for us to consider getting married? Now you want them to call you by your pronouns? Don't fuck with these white people. They're crazy. They'll kill us all. They'll nuke us all, bro.
It's not just white people that's doing this, Tommy. It's people like you and me and Latinos and everyone. You cannot center this all on white people.
Affirmative action was fucking... you saw the ruling from the Supreme Court, right? Affirmative action struck down. So now they're responsible for everything. And I don't hold any responsibility. Thanks, white people.
Affirmative action was bullshit anyway, because it led to the massive unemployment rates here in the state of New York when it came to affirmative action. If someone is capable, no matter what race or ethnicity, if someone is capable of doing the job, fucking hire them.
Yeah, but first you have to have the right credentials, and then you have to suck my boss's cock. Perhaps get a little vis-a-vis concordantly quid pro quo. Some quid pro quo is in order. Chip, chip.
Really? Wow. Okay. So yes, there's still that small pocket of companies that use unreasonable means to make their company run, but there are companies that have sprung up from the folds that are more morally aware, and they put a code of ethics, strong ethics in their community. I've been on LinkedIn and I've seen it myself. But the problem that we have is, and people need to realize that affirmative action was kind of a bit of a farce, because let's think about the college admission rates. College admission rates dropped because, well, not a lot of black people could get in those type of colleges. You know what I mean? So they couldn't admit the students, no matter what race or ethnicity. They couldn't admit them because, oh, they're not black. So affirmative action, as far as I'm concerned, I'm glad that they got rid of it, because it opens up the horizons to more diversity and people, being hired or being admitted into colleges, because it's all about race and reaching your quota. You can't do that if you got a fucking affirmative action shit in your freaking policy, because you'll be like, you have to hire a certain percentage of students, basically black students, and oh right, you're not gonna get that percentage, and you're going to have a stagnant rate. And they proved that with Yale, Harvard, and Berkshire.
But haven't you heard of this Bidenomics? Let me tell you what Bidenomics is, B. Bidenomics is when you don't do any of your campaign promises. You just elect a black Supreme Court judge. That's all you do is elect a black Supreme Court judge. And you fucking did it, bro. Woo! 2024! Look, buddy. I'm Brandon. I elected a black fucking Supreme Court justice. That's all I got to do.
That's great. Woo! But it doesn't matter what race. If it's in a political landscape, you're still a piece of shit.
You don't understand. On the whitehouse.gov website, it says he was lauded for, what was this, electing a Supreme Court black judge.
It doesn't matter. It does not matter. It does not matter. It does not matter. It does not matter. My song, Black Lives.
Hey, then you ain't black. If you don't think so, then you ain't. If you don't think so, buddy, you ain't black. Then you ain't black.
I've never been black.
How about that? We don't fit in the paradigm. We don't acquiesce to the conventional norms, the mainstream media. Well, that must be because, girl, we on Tommy Nation Politics. We're free thinking, innovative, and open minded. So that's probably why. But yeah, it was so good to like talk to you again. I'm glad you're alive. Glad you're doing shit. Are you doing shit? Are you with your podcast? What are you doing?
Bit of a hiatus on my podcast because there's like a lot of podcasts that I'm doing. I actually established a brand new podcast that I'm working on, which you will get the link. It's a little bit sensitive, and I am working on a fourth and fifth album for my music. It's gonna be crazy, but it has been the best, experience, because when I do my music, it's like all of what I feel and what I've experienced and what I have observed is put into there in a very transformative fashion, But when it comes down to my podcast, basically, I had to take a little backseat from that because there was an episode that I did called Samboism, the New Normal. And I was explaining that we as Black people still look to, this is going to be very sensitive, still look to the majority of Caucasians for validation. Yeah. I'm putting it that way because if I were to say it in a different way, then I'd probably get freaking bothered on Twitter. But the point is, that's what we're still going for. Right. We're not looking into our inner power anymore. We're not looking into ourselves anymore. We're not looking at the history of us as a people fighting for what is right and what is just. We're just looking for validation. There's no substance in that. And that's why I had to step back from political activism and community activism, because I'm looking at everyone in my city and unfortunately I'm seeing they're just looking for validation. They're looking to be recognized. They're like, look at me, look what I'm doing. No. You need to be more focused on just getting the message out there. Now you're going to be ostracized. You're going to be disrespected. You're going to be made fun of. You're going to be bullied. You're going to be all kinds of fucked with. And believe me, I speak from experience, but let me tell you, that helped me find an inner strength in myself that shows that I don't take no shit and I don't put up with hypocrisy and I don't put up with double meaning. That's what the hell we're going through. We're going with double meanings. We say that we want this, that, and the third, but then the government's like, I'll give you this, but we're going to have to take away that. We'll be like, oh, okay. No, idiot. Yeah. We go for what we say we go for as people. And I'm not talking about just as Black people, as white people, as Latino people, the human race. This is what we are. We're all kinds of different hair color, eye color, and all. We are the fucking same. We all came from one fucking country, one continent. Okay.
Oh God, you're gonna fucking upset Michael again.
And enough of this, because I'm still seeing a lot of people that have been conditioned horribly with this racist bullshit, and I'm tired of it. We are all the same. We go through different battles, okay? We go through different battles, we go through different relationships and all of that, but we are all the same. We may choose different political parties, but we're all the same. We may choose different diets, but we're all the fucking same. And we need to realize
I understand.
within ourselves that we're wrong. It is our ego that is going to collapse society. It is our need to be right all the time that's going to collapse society. I'm sorry. That is the truth. Has nothing to do with
what about the
has
what
nothing.
about the leaders in power
The leaders are
that are
fucking
responsible for it?
laughing at us. I'm sorry. The leaders are laughing at us. They're
Literally, we're voting
absolutely
for
enjoying.
them.
They're enjoying the polarization between what is right and wrong, and blue and red, and all of this bullshit. They are laughing their asses off. They're sipping the finest fucking expensive ass wine that you could ever freaking drink in your entire fucking life. Do not tell me that all of this is not our fault, because we're like, we see a new policy, or oh, here's a whole new list of terms and conditions, sign it or we're not going to give you anything. And we're going to be like, well, gee, yeah, we need to depend on that, so we're going to freaking sign it, not knowing the inner part, reading between the lines. That is what pisses me off, because we're so damn quick to be like, oh yeah, okay, great, let me just sign this. No. And then you're wondering why your bill is a lot higher, or why you don't lost certain features and all of that. And you're wondering, and you keep wondering, and you have to ask yourself, okay, I must have signed something I wasn't aware of. People, period, need to look at the
Capitalism.
entire
Capitalism.
spectrum of everything. And this is the reason why we are still dealing with this continued assault on us as people. I am literally seeing the meaning woman disappear before my fucking eyes. Don't get me wrong. I'm a tough ass girl, but I am 100% woman. But when you got,
Is that
when
literally
you
like
hold up,
the biggest
when
deal?
you got
Really?
professors trying to slip in the term bonus hole, or
Bonus hole?
yeah, bonus hole, special
Bonus
hole, or
hole.
birthing persons, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
where can I
hold up.
find?
I'm
Where
like,
can I find this
no, hold
bonus
up,
hole?
back up. First of all, a woman is
Bonus hole.
a woman gets pregnant. A woman has ovaries. A woman has a vagina. A
Fine.
woman has breasts. Okay. This is our
You had to
hormonal
say it.
cattle that makes us women. And we have men who may develop a beard, who's got bigger muscles, who has, if they're lucky, a big cock. But the problem
If they're
is
lucky,
when we start
or if by design.
when we start to blend roles, when we start to distort all of that, that's when we lose the true meaning of feminine and masculine energy. Feminine and masculine
Okay.
energy are separated. They are separated for a reason, because not only there's feminine and masculine energy, there's feminine and masculine roles. You got the man taking out the garbage, you
Feminine
do
and
the
masculine
fucking dishes.
roles.
That's it. That is it.
Feminine and masculine
The
roles.
man takes out the garbage,
Oh,
he mows the
you lost
lawn,
me on that.
he goes out and
You
cleans
lost
the
me on that.
garage, and we women, we sit there and we drink wine and we wash dishes,
Y'all,
we cook the
yeah,
roast and all of that, and we
and we
bounce on our
paint
man
and
like
we
there's
just
no tomorrow.
we
It
have
is
babies.
not that hard. It is not that hard.
We just have babies.
I'm sorry.
We have no
It's not that hard.
I mean, okay, well, so I guess you really are a conservative, right winger. That's cool, but I don't really agree on
I'm not
that
conservative.
part.
I'm a realist. It
Well, you
doesn't
just
make sense,
explained to
Tommy.
me that there's roles, and in roles, there must be like an institution that's governed you for those roles. Because who said that these roles exist? Who said that these? Who said?
Well,
Who said
no
these
one
roles exist?
said that these roles
Nobody.
exist, but we came into it, and
So I'm a
it
left
was
winger.
already
I
happening.
can't
It
understand
was
that shit. I can't
hold up,
understand what you're saying.
hold up. It was already happening in ancient history. Now, don't get me wrong. Do not get me wrong. There were female leaders.
There's a
There were
hierarchy of an
there
authority that made rules, and
there
then
were
there was a
female
role.
leaders that were
And
just
that's the
as
stuff
brutal as men,
conservatives fucking
and
bring up. They
there were
bring up
male
authority.
leaders who were
They love
just as
authority.
feminine as women.
Okay, so how come there's roles that then how you just said we were all the same. Now you're
Yeah,
saying
we
there's
are all the
roles.
same. We're all the same
So how come there's roles
DNA.
then?
We're all the same DNA base, but when it comes to us as a man and a woman, a man, 90%, Tommy, think about this. 95% of all the labor, all the products, all the buildings, all the piping, all the shit that we women have to depend on is done by men.
Sorry,
Now let's think of, now hold up. Let's think about this.
I'm
95%.
listening. I was chastised.
95% of nurturing, care, cooking, cleaning, all of that is by women. The roles
So you guys are really
our
upset
roles
about
are
this
still
shit,
there.
aren't you? I'm getting this. You guys are seriously upset about this shit.
I am.
Like you work so hard to
I
get
am
this
very
identity.
upset because
You
okay,
have
you
babies.
as
I'm
the
trying to understand this. I
okay,
really am. I'm trying to understand it, and I
as a
don't
woman,
because as a man, I don't fucking care. I literally,
that's
someone just said
true.
"ma'am" on the phone. I literally don't give a shit if someone calls me ma'am or sir. You guys apparently, because you give birth to female, and that's big. I don't do it. Look, I'm gay, so I have to really. I'm slow at this because I haven't thought of this before. But apparently, you guys, you have different feelings about how this is important to you. How they're, because what's her name? Tia just said. What did she say? She said the identities. Let me back up to this comment. She said the identities are they're making her feel, stripping away how I really am. I just saw that comment, and then
She's
what you're
right.
explaining now. So I'm just trying to understand this. You guys really feel like it's a stripping away your identity. Your identity is really a
Okay.
woman.
The
It's not
reason
like
why we're
a
saying this,
baker or like
the
a
reason why
lawyer. It's not that.
the reason why we're saying this, is because the more they keep blending, the more they keep distorting the meaning of what is feminine and what is masculine, and they try and switch it. It actually has a physical, mental effect. And this is what they're failing to see. They're like, oh, anybody can be who they are. That I don't have a problem with that. I already told you I identify as a masculine woman. I have no problem with that. But the problem that I have is when women start overstepping to the point where they're like, oh, I don't need a man to help me do this and that and the third. Okay, so that's great, but then you're going to want that connection. You're going to want at least someone to hold, whether you're a man or a woman, you're going to want someone to hold you. You're going to want that type of emotional bond and whatnot. And it's being broken because everyone is so obsessed with what a woman should do and what a man should do. I could tell you right now, I could do both. I could wash dishes. I can go to
That's what
fish.
I'm saying.
I can hunt.
That's what I'm saying.
I can do all of that. I'm both. Okay. And I understand how difficult it is. But when you have certain males that are like, a woman should do this, that, and the third, and that means that you're trying to enforce control. I don't like that, not one fucking bit. Just like a woman says a man should do this, that, and the third, that's still enforcing some type of control.
Okay.
All I'm saying
I don't
is,
like.
yes, you can be feminine, you can be masculine. If you want to do what you do, just don't overstep to the point where you are literally crossing the wrong type of energies and whatnot. And I've seen that on YouTube. I've seen that on Twitter. I've been bothered on Twitter because a lot of people are saying that disabled women are useless.
So she says in the Bible, God made two genders. First of all, in the Bible, God made a woman actually ingest some fucking shit so she could have an abortion. In the Bible, in Nehemiah. So in the Bible that you're pointing to, it's fucking rife with a whole bunch of mythology, and it was actually a tool for governments to use
distortions in the Bible, but the truth is,
one religion. I just want to let you know your Bible is actually the first propaganda tool. It was the first propaganda tool. So
it wasn't a propaganda tool until hold up. First and foremost, the original Bible.
I don't respect the Bible as the source.
The original Bible was made from multiple scriptures because God is all. Okay.
Okay.
Hold up, Tommy. Not finished. Yes. God is all.
I'm sorry.
That means
look. I'm a progressive, Beatrice, and I have to.
I know you're a progressive, but I'm a realist and a humanist.
Explain to you that your Bible is not sourceful.
It's not, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, I am saying that the Bible has been distorted over the last 2,000 years. And the original Bible actually spoke very candidly of just love and understanding. That's what it was. It was just plain old love, understanding, and certain things that you had to do to take care of the earth. Now, when I look at the New King James Version, it's basically a fucking Naziized version of what the hell we're supposed to be doing as humans.
Love and understanding. But in the Bible, God made two genders. What was the love and understanding with that?
He made a man and a woman. That's, I'm sorry, that's the truth. He made a man, he made a man and a woman. He made a man and a woman. He did not make a man, a woman, a non-binary, a sentient robot, a fucking alien. I'm sorry. He didn't do that shit.
Okay, so yeah, he created his people, which preceded in the Bible. In the Bible that you claim to read, they went on to Jericho. They killed and slaughtered everyone in Jericho. They knocked the walls down. Only the person who survived was fucking Rahab. They killed and destroyed the Amorites. They made their whole fucking species extinct. And they went upon the Philistines. They fucking created genocide and killed every last one of the Philistines.
Okay, first of all, hold up. Tommy, slow down.
And then they descended upon Palestine.
Slow down. She was just saying,
because you guys are literally,
she was just saying man and woman. She was not getting into all of that.
The truth of man.
I understand. I told you, I understand you're progressive. I ain't gonna let you disrespect her like that. She was just saying that God made man and woman, and I believe that. I do.
Right.
I believe that part.
And you think that's it? You think that's it? Why? How? Give me proof. Proof now.
Well, first God made man, and then he took a rib from man and made woman.
Who? Okay, from where? Where do you hear this story? What's your source?
Well,
who told you this?
They say that we were genetically created. There are a lot of different perceptions, but the one thing is, Tommy, is that we were created. And the fact of the matter is, in all my entire existence, I have seen a lot of bullshit fucking arguments that have led to a lot of collapsed relationships and friendships and whatnot. And I'm pretty much tired of it. We are on this plane for a fucking reason. And it is not about arguing or politics or religious or anything like that. All right. We are all 99% of us are in the same goddamn position. Okay.
Yeah, but we don't see your point of view.
Enough is enough.
I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. This is the reason why I want to talk to you. Because I literally didn't understand a lot of your points of view. You explained them to me. I don't agree a little bit with.
I'm not okay. Admittedly, I'm not religious, but I'm not going to disrespect anyone's. I'm not going to disrespect anyone's views. That's the one thing I'm not going to do.
Their views are so rigid. Their views are so rigid, bro.
It doesn't matter. You should not disrespect them.
The 50 states were a whole bunch of individuals with different thoughts and opinions and religions. E pluribus unum.
This is the problem. This is the reason why I stepped back.
You can't
Tommy.
Two genders and believe it. That your religion.
This is the reason why. This is the reason why I stepped back. This is the reason why I stepped back, because everyone is rigid. Everyone is rigid. Okay, but that does not mean for us to up and disrespect somebody else's views. You want us to talk about being open-minded?
I'm not disrespecting any views.
You want to be talking about open-minded, innovative, progressive, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. You do not disrespect anyone's views. Now, yeah, you told me that a freaking white nationalist was in love with me because of everything I'm saying about Trump. No, I'm saying it for what it is. I am saying it for what I'm saying with my own eyes. And every single time, every single time I say something that has to do with Trump or Republicans or white or whatever, not white nationalism, which I don't really give a fuck about, then this part comes.
You really should.
I never was I never was accosted by a white nationalist. Most of the shit that I went through was because of blacks. Okay. How about that?
Okay. So that's your experiences. So that's why you don't mind the fact that these guys really literally attacked me, point guns at me in Texas. They vandalized my
I
house.
didn't
They
know that.
stalked me
I did not
at the
know
pride.
that.
They stalked me
You're
at the pride
but
parade.
that's the
They
reason why
literally light crosses on fire.
the
They
reason why
literally
you're
do that shit,
expressing yourself
and you
like
don't
this
care.
because of what you went through. And I'm telling you what I went through based on experience. Okay. Everybody has their
Yeah.
own
But
battles.
look at this
Everyone has
guy.
their own
Look at this
experience.
guy, bro. I'm just saying. So that's what I want to ask you. I don't want to disrespect your views, Beatrice. But I'm telling
And
you,
I don't
from
want
my
to disrespect
perspective,
your views either,
from my
but
perspective,
you just
this
went
guy literally, people like him call me groomers. They harass my life. They vandalize my house. They do violence to me. And you're telling
probably
me
because
that you think Trump is
it's probably
awesome.
because of your
You
sexuality.
think
And
Trump is
for that,
awesome.
I'm sorry.
They think Trump is awesome.
For
They think
that,
Trump is awesome,
I'm
bro.
sorry for what you're going through. All right. But there are a lot of people who are
So
you said
literally,
that
you agree with me.
you said that views are rigid. You're right. And that's the
They
reason
want
why
to hurt me.
that's the reason why you got
They
attacked. That's
harm
the
me.
reason why you got the shit that you got. And the same way I got the shit that I got because people's views are too damn rigid. Okay? I'm not admonishing the fact that you went through what you went through. I saw all your freaking Instagram posts, Tommy. I'm not admonishing that. Do not think that I will admonish any fucking type of suffering. Not putting up with that.
It hurt, bro. So you're probably right about that. It's personal, bro. Like these guys call you groomers. They don't understand that you're a human being, and you just want to like fucking live your life.
True.
And it sucks.
I'm disabled. I'm being called an invalid. So how do you think I feel? How do you think I feel? That I'm doing all of this and I'm trying to help everybody and I'm trying to give them some fucking reason for existence. And I'm being called an invalid just because I cannot really work a 9 to 5. How do you think I feel?
You think like human beings were supposed to work 9 to 5? That's not how humans were made. We were not fucking designed to work 9 to 5, bro. Only these people want to fucking. They don't want socialism. They want us to work 9 to 5 for the authoritarian Trumpists. They've given
I figured that out. I'm not saying.
So, I'm just saying.
I'm not
bro.
saying that.
I know you did. I know you did.
I'm not saying that I would have minded. It's the fact that everything that happened that I didn't even expect. Like I didn't expect my body to start breaking down. I didn't expect for me to wake up tired and in pain all the time. And I'm being demonized for that. Okay, just like you're being demonized based on your sexuality, I'm being demonized based on my disability. So I understand that. But the fact of the matter is that we're going back and forth like this isn't going to change the course of what humanity is going to take by 2030. So we need to stop that. Okay?
You're right. So how about Cornel West, huh? He's a shot.
I need to look more into him.
Bro, like you get me going, V. You're real. You're a real person because like I literally wouldn't tell other people about this because nobody cares. So nobody cares about it. The things I learned in adulthood is nobody gives a shit. 4 words. Nobody gives a shit. That's what I literally observed in humanity. Like people think things and they call you things, and in their reality, you're that. And in Texas, in my reality, white people reign with their guns, and they can tell us everything to do. So I'm glad my governor fought the mandates. I'm glad he didn't like Biden and all that. But at the same time, like these two parties are the same coin. They're fascists. They literally just want to take our rights and our life, liberty, happiness. And I just feel like, can I just say, like, what you were right about what you said? We need to stop that. But like, but lauding President Trump because he's a Republican. He's part of a system of white supremacy and evil. We should stop lauding that too. We should stop both things, I think.
The minute that we stop that, we gain back our power, our sovereignty, because we're not being dragged into this bullshit. That's why I walked away, because it was getting too damn stupid to me. I'm like, first and foremost, here's a really good example. You got a white person who's on food stamps, who is struggling the same way a person of a minority is still struggling. So why are we fighting each other? Just like you have a gay a gay man who is struggling in a rooming house, but he has the same type of experiences as a woman would. Like he would be, called out and messed with and unwantingly interacted with. The thing is, they're trying to bifurcate the level of suffering. If we were to recognize just one night, one day, we just recognize, okay, this person might be going through something because the way that she looks, her facial expression and all of that, or what she gets when she puts in the shopping cart. You can actually tell a lot about a person what they put in their shopping cart. And I've watched that when I went shopping one time. I had observed people putting stuff in their shopping cart, and I saw one woman, she put a whole bunch of TV dinners and like 3 bottles of cheap wine. I'm like, okay, then that means she's single and she can't
That's
cook.
me. That's me right there. That's so me right there. I was
And
like, what do you?
so
What does it mean?
I'm
What does it
looking
mean?
at, I'm observing, and if people were to just observe that, if people were just to not be so quick to, oh, I'm waiting for this mailing for this politician or that politician or this type of bill or that type of bill or this type of suggestion or that type of suggestion or this resolution or that resolution. Maybe if we were to actually see ourselves as human, which means that we are trife with errors, trials, tribulations, and defects, everything would stop. That's why I had to take a break, because I looked at everything and I'm like, what the fuck are we arguing about? What the fuck are we really arguing about? Okay, because I've seen so many bullshit arguments on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, and I literally commented, what the flying fuck are we arguing about when we have the worst level of poverty, when we have the worst level of housing? People have to work 3 and rarely 4 fucking jobs to cover their apartment. That is what we should be focusing on. Why are they jacking up the prices like that? Knowing that everyone has gone through a pandemic. Some people got laid off. Some people got sick. Some people are permanently disabled from this shit. But they want to jack up the prices for food, rent, and essentials. How about we talk about that? Instead of talking about, oh, you called me a woman? Oh, I'm sorry. I identify as a fucking toothbrush.
Toothbrushes are fucking. They're helpful. They're helpful. At least they're fucking helpful. What do you think? Not Democrats, Republicans though. I'd literally identify as a toothbrush if I could. That'd be better. What do you think? Not controversial, right? Not
You'd have to
controversial.
be replaced every 6 months.
Not controversial, bro. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh fucking shit!
Why I said that's why I said what I said.
I mean, you were right, bro. Ms. V, like literally, I literally don't want to stop talking to you, but like this has fucking gone on for a long time, so I gotta stop. Would you stop being a stranger on the show? Look, you make me think about stuff. You make me angry. You make me happy. You cry with me. You're a woman. Is that what a woman is? Now I know what a woman is. What is a woman?
Okay. A woman can be many things, but I can tell you that she is untamable and changing as the sea. She could be calm one day and she will form into a maelstrom and suck your ass right down under. That's what
I never knew, guys, because I never ever liked vagina. I never actually wondered what a woman was like. Beatrice Harris, Cosmic Collision. She's explained to me, and now I know what a woman is. Thank you. She's always a woman to me. Before thinking innovative and open-minded, guys, I just want to say, I have to add this because, I know you just said stop it, but I can't stop it because I'm a little catty and petty. So Beatrice, allow me to just indulge a little bit. Tommy, send me an invite to the show. I need to talk to this woman. First of all, you're never allowed on the show ever again. You're banned from the show until you apologize to the gay community for your stupid bullshit retardation. You need to fucking apologize to us and tell us we're not groomers and fucking go after Joe Biden, who you're really after. leave us the fuck alone and just fucking apologize to us. Then you're back on the show. But until then, you're not on the show. So you don't talk to anybody. I wish I could, Michael. I kind of miss you. But at the same time, you're fucking retarded. I don't know. Anyway, thank you, Beatrice. You're classy. Thank you for letting me do this. I think that was more of a man thing. I think it's testosterone. But guys, be free-thinking, innovative, and open-minded. This was Tommy Nation Politics. And I think there's a condition for strike.